Good evening, everyone. How are you? We're back for a Monday night. It is great to be back, even if I'm on at the wrong time. Yes, Ping is still getting used to the time zone change for me. I don't know why I thought I would go on at 9:30 instead of 9 o'clock, but something in my head was like, yes, yes, that seems correct. Do that. And I was like, okay. So we're half an hour late. So it's going to be a really short, early show tonight, unfortunately. But we will be back for a late show at midnight to cover more of Milton. By the way, I want to say sorry yesterday as well. For some reason, so StreamYard has a new feature where you can preload your intro and outro videos, right? And we're doing some testing the other night of the new outro video, and I forgot to change it to because it got edited a bunch of times. The first one was just a test; it wasn't that great, and then I spent a couple more hours on it, and it looks very good. Um, but I forgot to change it over. So the one you guys saw at the end of the show last night was like literally the first edit we did just to see if it would work, and yeah, it looks crap, and it goes really fast. The music's out of sync, and it doesn't look very good. So I'm sorry about that. Um, we have a better one, I promise. I'll show you. I'll show you a little bit of it before we get to the news. There you go. That's the one for the end of today. It's much better, much better. Hey, good to see you all. Casper, Peekaboo, LMS, Robbie's here, Sienna, Gayla's here, Mamma Mia's here. Who else is here? I don't know if we're going to get very many people. A lot of people probably think I'm not doing a show for some reason. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Marilyn's here. Mamma Mia. LMS, my friend LMS is here. Diamond Heart is here. All right, let's talk about the hurricane. All right, let me get everything about the hurricane set up, and then let's get into that. And let me get the camera on. All right, there we go. Good to see you all. I am here. I promise. I'm here. Whoa. That should be over here. There we go. Yes. Since I spoke to you since yesterday, about 24 hours almost, things have changed. Things have changed with Milton significantly. It has become a category 5. I don't think we were expecting it to do it this fast. It is just supercharged right now. It is sucking up all of that warm, moist ocean evaporation, and it is going bonkers. I've never seen a hurricane go. I've seen a couple do this, what they call rapid intensification process, but it normally takes place over a number of days, like 1 to 2 days, not a day. I've never seen a hurricane go from category like 1 to 5 in like 24 hours. That is very impressive, but at the same time, not good for Florida. Although I do have some decent news for Florida. Yeah, we're going to switch over to my forecast map here in Windy. So here's Milton. You can see. So we always talk about symmetrical on hurricanes, right? So you're looking for something that looks like a circle, because what that's showing you is that it's got enough speed to it and organization, almost like, I think the demonstration they use on weather channels is like a ballerina when they're spinning around and they tuck their arms in. It draws everything in and it gets tighter, and you get that sort of more of like a whirlpool shape. That's sort of what happens with hurricanes too. And right now, I don't know if we'll be able to see it. I might have to turn off the forecast track. Nope, that's not it. Nope. Here, I'll see if I can get it to go back. Let's go back. All right. So this eye is really became really impressive. Let me see if I can switch out of this. Let's go like that. Yeah. So this eye became really super impressive in the last 24 hours, and it tightened up like it was almost pinpoint. You couldn't see it. That's really, really strong. but it could also what we call going through an eyewall replacement cycle too. On some of the other imagery, I don't think I can show it to you here. Let's see if no, it's not a little bit. Around here, there was what they call a moat forming, or sort of here, I think. It's hard to tell in this image, but sort of like up through here. And what that is it's the actually, I think it is that first layer. It's very hard to tell in this IR picture. But a moat is like sort of like you'll see a gap in the clouds right near the eye here. And what that's showing is that that eye wall in the center is sort of lived its life. It's going to do another one. This inner banding, this thick wall around here, will end up collapsing and then getting, re-ingested into the storm almost. It'll build a new one, and it may be much bigger because this one's become so tiny. It may actually become about this big, I reckon. Well, by the time it's said and done, maybe that big. Then it'll do the same thing. It'll tighten up again. It'll intensify, and then it'll probably go through another eye wall change at some point. So when it goes through this eye wall cycle, it'll actually drop in intensity just a little bit while it's going through that process, and then it can come out the other side, sometimes even a little bit stronger. So right now, it's not looking great. The only thing that might be the saving grace for this is if I can get back to my other thing. Here we go, Milton. All right. So if we go back here, give me my forecast track. Yes, that's how we do that. Why is it being a pain? Come here. Hurricane tracker, Milton. All right. So the thing that might actually save this, and I'll show you, I'll run through it. So we'll run through the progression here. How far is this going to take us? All right. It's probably not going to go all the way through, right? No. All right. We go down here. It's still, now it's saying it's going over St. Petersburg over here. It's actually going to cross, not through the inlet. It's going to cross over here. I still think it's probably going to go a little further south. I think we may still get a run up through this section here. The thing that may actually save this, by the time this hurricane actually gets in, why did it do that? By the time it actually gets up into this region here, or sort of around here actually, there's a whole bunch of less favorable conditions up near the Big Bend of Florida actually. There's a whole bunch of what we call sheared environment up in here. And I would think that we may get some decretion in intensity. How much? I'm not sure. I think maybe like a category, something like that. We may get bumped down to a Cat 4. I still think this is going to be a major hurricane by the time it makes landfall. I don't know if it'll be a Cat 5, but it's definitely going to be either a Cat 3 or a Cat, Cat 4 or Cat 3. But the progression it's gone through in the last 24 hours is amazing. I've never seen anything like this. I've also never seen a hurricane that started off over here and then hit Florida. I don't think in my entire time of doing weather I've ever seen a hurricane do that. I've seen hurricanes start over here and then hit Texas or Louisiana. I've seen hurricanes come through the Caribbean and Cuba a million times. I've seen hurricanes start over here and hit up north in New York and stuff, but never in this little quadrant over here and then head straight to Florida. Very, very strange. Very strange. But there was a message out today, and I'll show you if I can find it. Here. We'll go to this one. Let's see if they did their update. Forecast discussion here. So they're saying satellite images indicate that Milton is quite a powerful hurricane. The small eye has become even more distinct than earlier today, and radar from, I don't know where that is, some local place to where the hurricane is, shows a small closed eye with a very strong eyewall presentation. On the last fix before the plane departed a few hours ago, hurricane hunters are already in there right now. They were in there for the last hour and a half. So we should be getting an update pretty soon too. They're saying the Air Force Hurricane Hunter crew reported that the pressure had fallen to 911 millibar, which is 77 lower than yesterday at the same time. And they say other data to support 150 knots. It's insane. Since the satellite imagery continues to show intensification, the initial wind speed is set at 155 knots. I think they're up to like 180 miles per hour in wind speed now, from what I saw. That update's like 4 hours old, so we're about to get a new one very shortly. That one will tell us if it's gone above 180. If it has, this thing is really very unprecedented. Says here the hurricane is moving eastward at 9 knots an hour. Milton should move close to the northern portion of the Yucatan Peninsula tonight and early Tuesday ahead of a mid-level trough dropping into the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. This is the bit that they're talking about. This feature should then cause Milton to move east-northeastward to northeastward at a faster forward speed later on Tuesday and Wednesday. Little change was made to the previous forecast. They say Milton could strengthen even more tonight with light, shear, and very warm waters providing a conductive environment. So there's nothing there that'll cause Milton to slow down right now. Right now, it is full steam ahead. It is hurricane making and building mode for Milton. It's just going to keep, it's like an engine. If you think of an engine, while you keep pouring fuel into it, it just keeps going, right? Keeps revving, keeps getting faster, whatever. You take away the fuel or no, you chuck a bunch of sand in the engine, it's not gonna work anymore. That's sort of what happens with hurricanes too. You take away the warm water or it hits something like land or a sheared environment, it starts to it causes resistance to the hurricane and it starts to break it down. So it says here on Wednesday, Milton is expected to encounter a far less favorable environment with strong shear and dry air entrainment, with further weakening forecast. Regardless, the system is expected to be a large and powerful hurricane at landfall in Florida, with life threatening hazards at the coastline and well inland. Residents in Florida should closely follow the orders from their local emergency management officials, as Milton has the potential to be one of the most destructive hurricanes on record for West Central Florida. Yeah, I'm hearing that storm surge up to 15 to 20 feet in some places. It's going to be not good. Not good. Hurricane Maximilian would have been a better name than Milton. What's next? So Hurricane Milton was actually a replacement name for Hurricane Michael, and Hurricane Michael was retired due to how severe the last hurricane called Michael was. So Milton is actually the replacement name for that in the name cycle for hurricanes. So while it sounds like a silly name, they are running out of normal names because they keep having to retire them because of how severe some of them have been. All right, I'm going to play a little video up here and I'm going to show you what's going on in Florida right now. A lot of sandbagging, a lot of people leaving, a lot of people at Walmart, apparently. A lot of people at Walmart buying what? I don't know. What do you buy at Walmart? Here, let's have a watch. Let's see these people. What are they up to? This is in Seminole, Florida. A lot of people buying fuel. Everyone's trying to get fuel in their things. Oh, no more chips, apparently. You can't get any more chips and no more water. Getting a lot of sandbagging. Yeah, if you haven't done your sandbagging, please go to your local distribution point and get your sandbag. I think they have like an allotment per day, like how many you can get. Make sure you get your allotments. They're saying they don't want water going up into their driveway. All right, let's listen to Mr. DeSuckus here.
You are somebody that is in a very vulnerable part of the west coast of Florida that would be susceptible to storm surge. you certainly can leave now. You don't have to wait to get an evacuation order.
Wow, look at the highways. Here, let me mute that stupid music. Wow, this is from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, Polk County. That's Polk County there. That is bonkers. Look at this. Everyone's heading north. This is why you can't leave it to the last minute to go, because you're gonna encounter traffic like this. You can't decide at 10 a.m. on Tuesday that you want to go. You really need to make a decision and stick to it and make sure you do that as soon as possible, because this is what'll happen. Wow, that is an absolute monster traffic snarl heading north. How far does it go? Yeah, so this is in Polk and Hillsborough counties. So they got yeah, there's Polk County, Sheriff Grady. Let's have a look. Not good. Hope none of my friends are out in this area. Hopefully that actually, let's have a look. Let's go to what highway was this? Let's have a look. I'm gonna go look at the highway traffic right now. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring it up. Casper says Walmart is equivalent to a massive Coles in Australia. No, not really. It would be more equivalent to sort of like Kmart, sort sort of. Eh, Walmart is weird, right? Because they sell some food, but they also sell like electronics and housing stuff and computers, and it's almost like a mix between a really terrible Coles and a Kmart. That's the way I would explain it, but I don't know. That's what I know. Let's see. Let's see. Hurricane Milton. Let me go. I want to have a look at the highways in Florida and just let's have a look. Let me get away from my country and head over here. Let's see if we can see if there's any traffic. There's probably going to, even this time of night, there's probably an absolute bitch load of traffic. Let's have a look. Polk County. Let's have a look if Polk County's got anything. It's not going to show me on here. Hold on, guys. I'm going to bring up a traffic website. All right. That doesn't help me. That does not help me. Thanks for that, Google Maps. Okay. Why do you want to? All right, fine. And just double checking that I'm not going to dox myself by doing this. Here we go. That's fine. So there is traffic heading north. It looks like Interstate 4, or if that's what you call it, I-4. I-4's got a lot of traffic. Where does it end? Sort of out here, wherever this is, Orlando. So the traffic's pretty bad up through there. You can see red, 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 orange, red, 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 red. So between this gap between near Florida Polytechnic University and up through here near Celebration, sort of ends near Williamsburg. So they got a bit of traffic there. Do they have more traffic? Oh, there we go. Another one up here. There's another one that's just red. What's this? I-93 or I-75? I'm not sure which one it's called. It says 93 and then 75. I know that means national, doesn't it? And that's local, I think. I don't live there. But yeah, a lot of traffic heading north here as well. Where does this one end? Let's have a look. Sort of out near Fairfield or near Irvine. or Irvine, sort of out near this way. You can see for some reason it ends right there. There's you get to green. Let's see if we go further north, is there more? Yep. In Gainesville, you got a lot of traffic. That might be just typical city traffic, although the arterials look really clogged up in places. So let's go even more. Once you get near the border, it seems okay. Once you get near the Georgia border, it's okay. Once you get out of Gainesville and you go north on 75, and then you get right near the Georgia border, it opens up again. So just be mindful that there is a bunch of traffic. There's still a bunch of areas which either have closed roads, damaged infrastructure from the Hurricane Helene, and things like that. So, and make sure you have a lot of fuel. What's it? What area is this? Baycare. Quail Hollow Village. I don't know where that is. Oh, we have a DMV. Oh, look at that. The traffic to the DMV, very good at this time of night. You could head to the DMV. I don't know if they're open, but you could head there. There is no delays heading to the DMV in Florida. I sort of want to know why this looks all smoky. That's a weird thing to happen on the map. You see that? Do you guys see that too? All this like smoke from a bushfire or something? Is that what happened? A bushfire in Florida? Could be. So there you go. There's your traffic. So it looks like if you're oh, there you go. There's the cause of it. Tampa. If you go on north or east out of Tampa, you're gonna run into some traffic issues, especially heading north by the looks of it. These two roads are really congested. There's a bit of congestion through Odessa and some going up the coast too a little bit as well. And definitely heading east out of Tampa too. There's a little bit through here, and then up through Celebration and into Orlando. But the worst one seems to be north out of Tampa. You got like look at this. If you went from here to here, geez, it's like a 30K traffic snarl. And I don't know how fast traffic's moving. It's not telling me. But you can see on the thing here, it says fast, slow, and it's all red. A lot of it's like deep red too through here. So if you're going on 93, yeah, this is why you have to make decisions and go now. And it looks like there's a closed road. This is why no one's using this one because it's not open. So they've got a 589 is closed. So that's why no one's using that. Oh, it's closed in one direction. Oh, and it's a toll road. Okay, that's probably why no one's using it because it costs money. I guess you could probably get on that if the northbound is open and try to get out through there. But yeah, so there you go. And in Lakeland too. Lakeland's got a closed road too on 570. So there you go. So traffic not too bad, but even at this time of night, you've got some backups on different highways. Rachel says, my friend said Sarasota traffic is crazy and he's staying. He works for the city and will work as soon as it moves through. I pray for anyone staying behind in Tampa. Anyone in Tampa, even Bradenton or Sarasota or Siesta Key. I really pray for you all. This is not going to be fun. And you can see, I'll show you why everyone's so nervous. If you're not from the area, so we get down, this is Sarasota. You look down here, there's just so much low-lying area, like through here. You see all this where it's exposed on the beach, and it's right next to the road. Look. So if you get even 10 feet, not even 5 feet of storm surge, it's going to wash all through here, 100%. All up through here, through this area. Luckily, this just looks like a car park, but there's, residential back here, businesses, a marina. So you guys have some really severe low-lying populations. And then look, housing everywhere. Yeah, traffic does look pretty bad through Sarasota. Look, not as bad as up north, but you do have some congestion even at 11 p.m. at or no 9, 10 o'clock at night. You got some bad congestion out through there. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what anyone's gonna do. I hope they just get away. And then you got all this too. This will all get flooded. Doesn't look like there's much here. What is this? They have a laundromat. A laundromat. Okay. Oh, it's like a camper van place. Like a, what do you call it? A camping place or whatever. RV park. RV park. So there you go. There's Tampa, and you can see the arterials out of Tampa pretty congested, especially that one, 75 north. 75 north, but very, very bad up until just before the Georgia border. You get out to, what is this? What town? Traxler? Traxler, Florida, and then it sort of clears up. And then you can switch. I think it's because once you get out through here, you have multiple options to get onto a different road, and it disperses the traffic. So you have more, so there you got a Jacksonville east-west road, and you've got a couple of different north options you could take to get away from this main arterial. So there you go. I hope it misses. That's all I'll say. An RV park, yeah. Milton is coming in hot, 100%. I-95, yeah. I-95 is the longest East Coast highway in the US. This one on the East Coast is I-95 here. But I don't see a lot of traffic on that one. It's more these ones over here. The one here, the one going through Daytona Beach. It's not that bad. There's a little bit downtown in Daytona, but just through here. But other than that, it's green lights going up through Jacksonville and the Space Coast of Florida through here. It seems okay. Wow, that's so pretty. Look at that. The Bahamas. Grand Bahama. And then Boca Raton. All right. There's our hurricane, a little bit of hurricane coverage. I hope everyone's going to be all right. I really do. So I'll answer one question before we go. A lot of people are asking me, why is the flooding so bad on that side of Florida? And I was like, I got no idea. I was like, I'm not sure why it's so bad there. And I was like, well, it's probably because it's very, very coastal, and they have a lot of, um, low-lying sort of areas next to the beach. And then I looked into it a little bit more, and I figured it out, and I'll show you. So we'll go back to this one. You can't really see it, but I'll just explain it. So off the coast here, off the coast of Florida here, you have a shelf, a shelf. What would you call it? Like an oceanic shelf here that runs all the way sort of down past Sarasota and sort of down here. And what that means is you go from quite deep water out here. This is sort of where all the drilling and the mining and stuff is out here. And then you go to quite shallow water as you come through here. And it's got quite a bit of a run on that shelf. So it makes it quite shallow. And that water, when it gets pushed in, has nowhere really else to go but onto the land. It's not going to go backwards because it's being forced to go forward. And because it is so shallow as you come into these coastal areas of Florida, you get more storm surge and higher storm surge than, say, some places in New York where they may not have that, where it's more like a harbor, where it's a lot deeper, or they have a deeper offshore area, like some places up in, like, I'm going to show you my really bad geography, but I think some places up through here have a deeper or shorter shelf, so you don't get that run onto shore. But that's what the research I was able to find, because I was like, I don't know. It's just a coastal area. Ping doesn't know. And then I looked it up, and apparently it's got something to do with this. There's a quite a large shelf here that's very shallow that runs off the coast of Florida, and that's part of the reason you get a lot of seawater inundation across these coastal areas when you get hurricanes. So yeah, continental shelf. Yeah, that's what it's called. So that's all I was able to figure out. I've never looked into it before. Had no idea. Hug says cousin in Fort Myers is bugging out. Also, Fort Myers. Where is Fort Myers? Oh, okay. Um, actually, I think Fort Myers and Cape Coral are in an area where there could be issues, but it depends on how far back you are. Hold on a second. Let me find something. Yeah, let's have a look at the flood and evac areas if I can find it. Yeah, let's go to know your zone. If it'll load, come on. There's probably a lot of people accessing it right now. All right, let's have a look. Let's go to Fort Myers. There's Cape Coral, Fort Myers. I think if you were down here, it looks, you're in a tropical storm or zone A. It looks like if you're along here, I don't know if that means you're in here. Let's see what it says. Zone A. Are they evac zone? Let's have a look. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not from the area. I don't know how to read this properly. It just says be sure to register for alert notifications from your county's website above. But it says they are in the A zone. And you have all these different zones here. You can be in the tropical storm zone or the zone A, zone AB. Let's see. It depends how far you get. So if you go in, it looks like it's not quite as bad. You can see up through here, Tampa. It's interesting. Since the new track came out, St. Petersburg's not taking such a bad hit. Yesterday, this was all red with that circular patch a little further up. But now it looks like it's not too bad. Although what'll happen is when the hurricane comes in, it'll push water onshore, but then as the eye passes this area, you will get some winds get pushed back onto St. Petersburg here. It will go back the other way and start slamming them again, because a hurricane is a spinning storm. So when the eye passes, you get the other side of the storm come back, and then you get winds in the opposite direction. So you got to be really careful of that. So they will get hammered twice, unfortunately. They'll get hit on this side, and then probably as the hurricane comes through, they'll get hit on this side. So they sort of get a double whammy. But Fort Myers, there are some danger areas down here. Like, and if he's anywhere in the red, make sure he looks at what the county's saying, whether it's a mandatory evac. But down here in Fort Myers, a lot of it is this green zoning, yellow, gold, purple. And then when you get back here, just out of here, there is no warnings for some of the places through here. So it depends where he lives and depends what the county's saying. But this is a good website. This is called Know Your Zone. And they tell you your zoning and stuff like that. Let me see if I can. Actually, I had a photo. I'll show you. Let me upload it for you. Go here. I don't know what the hell is going on. That is odd. Guys, give me 1 second. I have to fix something. Hold on. It's okay. I was in the wrong area. I was like, oh my god, my computer deleted itself. No, it didn't delete itself. They put out this photo last night, and if I can find it quickly to show you. Yes, here, there's that one. So it should be this one. Yep. This explains that continental shelf here. So you can see how the depth changes throughout Florida, and you see once you get past into this purple area into the Gulf or further into the Gulf, your average depth is between 6,500 and 9,500 feet. But as you get here, it's only 300 to 400 feet deep. And that change is so drastic, and this is such a long run. Look how far it is. So that hurricane gets a lot of ramping. It's able to ramp as it comes in and then push all that water almost like a tsunami, sort of. And it pushes all that on shore. And because you do have this such a long way of very shallow water, you get a lot more issues with seawater inundation during hurricanes. All right. And then there was this one I want to show you. And then we'll get on to the Interpol story that I have, which is very interesting. Where is it? Okay, here. So these are quite old now. I'm pretty sure that these have been upgraded and now some of these are even higher. But you can see here up to 10 feet storm surge around Cape Coral or Fort Myers. And they are projecting up to 12 feet. I've seen 15 and 20 in some places, but up to 12 feet in that update for around Tampa, Bradenton, Venice, Bayonet Point, uh, Ho- Homosassa Springs, if that's how you pronounce that. And you can see here this storm surge. Imagine that 12 feet above water, above normal. 12 feet. It's like two pings. That's two pings standing on top of each other. That is 12 feet. That is a lot of water. One ping of water is enough. That's 6 foot. You don't want two. That map looked a bit spicy close up. Okay. Thank you. Katie says yes, zone A and B are under mandatory evac. So if you're in A and B, get out. Marjorie says I believe zone A is along the coastline, B and C further in. I think most of them were, weren't they? Was there any that were? No, there is some other zones that are not, that they're sort of other colors. Not all of them are zone A. Some of them they vary. Like we go down here, you can see even if you're just like one street back, it's a different zoning. So it depends on the floodplains and historical data and how high it's going to be in what area and what obstacles. There's literally people who earn very good money to do all the calculations and modeling, stuff like that about what area will do what. So you can see here, this area here, they're in a bit of trouble, right? They're right on the water. But you go a little further back, and even just like, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll say, I don't know. We'll be a little under, but we'll say 10 blocks back. These guys aren't even under any warning. Only these ones on the outside edge. Like his neighbor's not. Look at this. These guys are. These guys are. Even this fella. But this one, this one, this one, and their friends at the back here, not under warning. So yeah, it works on however they think the water's going to inundate and how it's going to do it. This place is not mostly under warning at all. Probably because is it national park? Honeymoon Island. Never heard of it. But these people are where it's all residential. They are in the zone A. So there you go, you can see. Actually I wanted to check on Orlando. So Orlando looks all right. There's no zoning right now. Most of it's up here near Lake George or Drayton Island. So that looks like they may actually be having a hard time. Yeah, most of it's up here near Jacksonville. Oof. I hope the Jaguars survive. I hope they survive. And then, yeah, look, anywhere there's like a river system, any type of like coastal river or inlet, they're in a lot of trouble. So there you go. There's your bunch of zoning out of Florida. Let's hope they heed the advice. Nana says it's chilly outside, temps in the 40s tonight. That sounds very pleasant. All right. All right, there's our Milton. I'll do more Milton when we come back. We're going to watch some Hurricane Hunters for the late show. So we're going to do that tonight at midnight. So if you want to stay up, if you're on Hurricane Watch and you just want to chill out, we'll be here at midnight tonight. Yeah, we're running out of time. We've already done 40 minutes on this. Really, Ping? Come on, buddy. All right, let's go to the BBC. Interpol asked the public's help to crack new missing woman cases, or women cases, sorry. They're saying they're seeking to identify deceased women, including murder victims. And there's a whole bunch of images or sketches of them. And they're saying a pair of red shoes, two beaded necklaces, and a British 10p coin are among the few clues that could help identify a teenage girl found murdered in Western France more than 40 years ago. Her death is one of 46 cold cases European police are seeking to solve as part of a second phase of a campaign aimed at finding the names of unidentified murdered women. They said BBC's coverage of last year's appeal helped identify a British woman some 30 years after her murder. They said, "We want to identify the deceased women, bring answers to families, and deliver justice to victims." And that's according to the Secretary General of Interpol, which is coordinating the effort. They said, whether it's a memory, a tip, or a shared story, the smallest detail could help uncover the truth. They said the second phase of the Operation Identify Me campaign includes cases in the Netherlands, Germany, Belgium, France, Italy, and Spain. They say details of each one has been posted on Interpol's website along with photographs and possible identifying items and facial reconstructions. Most of the victims are thought to have been between 15 and 30. They said the body of a teenager with red shoes, a beaded necklaces, and a 10p piece, 10p coin, yeah, was found underneath layers of leaves in a lay-by near a village called, here's my crap French, Les Celliers in 1982, and they saying the body had been there for several months. They said speaking near the area where she was found, now overgrown with bramble, nettles, and horse chestnut trees, the detective says the teenager's body was disposed of like garbage. There was no respect, no care for her after her death. They said the 10p coin led investigators to believe that she was either British or had been traveling in Britain before her murder, though they acknowledged that she could have found it or had been given the coin. Police have chosen not to go into detail about the nature of her killing to avoid fake perpetrators from claiming responsibility. Unfortunately, the teenager's remains can no longer be found, which complicates the cold case investigators' task. They said if we manage to find them, it could be possible to work on her DNA to have a link with family, like genetic genealogy. Um, I'm concerned about why they can't find her remains. Did they give them away? Are they sitting on a shelf somewhere? Like, if they're not in the morgue, where are they? What did they do with them? Like, they didn't just go, "Oh, yeah, we just threw her out." They're saying a retired detective worked on the case at the time and described it as a triple enigma. They said the strangest and most incredible thing was that we had someone who had been murdered because we knew she had been murdered, but we could never find out what her name was, where she was from, or who had killed her. The BBC found one woman who recalled the fear the discovery of the body sparked in the village, but because the victim wasn't local, most people forgot about it and moved on. And they're saying the launch of the Operation Identify Me campaign last year marked the first time that Interpol had ever gone public with a list of known with a list known as black notices, seeking information about unidentified bodies. Such notices had historically only been circulated internally among Interpol's network of police forces. So normally they were just for people who worked in law enforcement. They would get notices when Interpol needed help. But beyond that, the public never ever saw them until now. They're saying across Europe, the ease of movement due to open borders and increased global migration and human trafficking has led more people to being reported missing outside their home country. And that's from Susan Hitchen, Dr. Susan Hitchen, a co coordinator of Interpol's DNA unit. They said these women have suffered a double injustice. They've become victims twice. They've been killed through an act of violence, and they've been denied their name in death. Interpol is using targeted social media to advertise the campaign in specific locations and demographics. The global police force has been asking celebrities to speak on behalf of the unknown, unnamed women. Another case that Interpol is hoping people may be able to solve is that of a woman whose body was discovered in, oh my god, I'm not even going to pronounce this. What is this? Let me see how to pronounce this because I have no idea. Sorry, let me see how to pronounce this word. Okay, so it's Wassenaar. That's how you pronounce that town. So they said the woman's body was discovered in Wassenaar in the Netherlands some 20 years ago. The discovery was Dutch forensic investigator Sandra Busbank's first case. She remembers seeing the woman lying face down in sand dunes with no obvious signs of injury or struggle. There she is today. The detective says the woman was wearing a gold plaid leggings, red shiny patent shoes. She says that would be unusual if you were going for a walk on the beach. She was very fit, sporty, wearing a headband and sunglasses. Her buttons were done up and she was wearing a scarf. Forensic analysis found the woman was born in Eastern Europe and spent the final 5 years of her life in Western Europe. One of the keys she was carrying was traced back to Germany. And she says, maybe she made me better at what I do. I never give up is my motto. I'm determined I'm determined in the work that I do, and maybe she's the reason why. She is hopeful that the new Identify Me campaign will help ignite some new leads and provide a form of closure for the victims. And they said there is reason for optimism. Ah, yes. So Rita Roberts was actually one of the people from the original campaign last year, and all they gave people was this photo of a rose tattoo. And then someone from her family recognized it and they were able to ID her as Rita. And there's a photo of Rita there. They say Rita Roberts was a British woman murdered in Belgium and was identified when her family spotted her distinctive black rose tattoo in a BBC report on the first appeal. The last contact with her family with the last contact she had with her family was via a postcard in May 1992. Her body was found the following month. When her family were told the body was indeed Rita, her sister Donna said she broke into tears crying. For them, it had ended decades of uncertainty. While it had been hard learning of her sister's death, she said she takes comfort in feeling that Rita is at peace. She now has been identified. Her family are appealing to the public for any information, however small, to help with the investigation. And they're also hoping that other murdered women will also be identified. Her sister says they are sisters, mothers, and aunties Just because they don't have names, don't assume they're not people. So that is a good point. There's Rita Roberts. Let me see if I can find her original case file. They called her the woman with the flower tattoo here. So there's Rita. She ended up being identified from Operation Identify Me. And 30-year cold case was solved and she was able to go home. That's very cool. They say a woman's body found 31 years ago in Antwerp was identified as that of a British national, Rita Roberts, after a police appealed to the public to help in identifying 22 women murdered in Belgium, the Netherlands, and Germany over the past 50 years. Operation Identify Me was launched in May by the Belgium, Dutch, and German police, with Interpol releasing details that would normally only be available to law enforcement agencies. The case of the woman with the flower tattoo, as Roberts was described, dated back to June 3rd, 1992, when a woman's body was found against a grate in the Gruch Shijin River. I'm not pronouncing that properly, but she was found near a river on a grate. There you go. In the city. They say described as age between 20 and 50. That just shows you how decomposed her remains were. The fact she was between 20 and 50, that is a massive age range. And they're saying the tattoo that she had on her left forearm showing a black flower with green leaves and with R. Nick written underneath. Interpol said on Tuesday that it was this that had allowed Robert's body to be identified after a member of her family in Britain recognized the tattoo and contacted the organization and Belgium authorities via the Identify Me website. Isn't that very interesting? But now they don't know who did that to her. Who killed her? That's the next bit. There must be someone out there who took her from this world and has walked away for the last 30 or so years, thinking they have got away with it after murdering a young woman who was, I guess, exploring the world and trying to, you know, live a very romantic foreign life. That's what it seems like. She moved from Britain, tried to have a bit of fun in Europe, and someone decided to take her life. I'm just trying to see here. That's interesting too. They said here she had a light green t-shirt with the inscription Splinter in 1990. Hey, Splinter is in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Let's have a look. Let's see if they got a photo of it on the Interpol website. Their website is offline at the moment, but I can show you a little bit of evidence. No, I think it's something else. Let's have a look. But photo's a little blurry, but apparently this is what she was found in when they found Rita's body at the time. And very luckily, they were able to return her to her family and lay her to rest. So, Kathy, your dog's not doing very well. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Yeah, pets that are sick are never a good thing. Casper says maybe use Google Translate to pronounce foreign language words names. Yeah, we normally do, but I can't do it while I'm in this panel. I can do it when I'm over here, but I can't do it when I'm on the stream. So normally I research them before we do the story, but we ran out of time this morning. If you've been around this channel long enough, you know that I tend to research all the words that I don't know before we go live. Cakespeare says, "Hi all, hi Ping, hello, good to see you." All right. So there's that. So Interpol black notice. I know a red notice. We've all known that one, but I had never heard of a black notice before, and I thought I'd share it with you because it's not one I'd ever heard about. previously to this campaign, a black notice. Let me see if I can get to their website or not through a different way. Let's see, Interpol. Let's see if I can get to their website or not. Okay, let's have a look. So these are the different notices. They have a blue notice, which is like for additional information requested. Purple notice, modus operandi. Interesting. A yellow notice is a missing persons notice. A red notice is a wanted person. We've all seen that one. A black notice is unidentified bodies. I didn't know about that one. A green notice is warnings and intelligence. An orange notice is an imminent threat. And a Interpol UN Security Council special notice is groups and individuals subject to something sanctions. UN sanctions? Can't read it. It's very tiny. Oh, we got more here. There we go. What is it? The UN one is issued for entities and individuals who are targets of the UN Security Council Sanctions Committee. And here's notices published by year. That's very interesting. Look how many Interpol Black Notice they typically issue in a normal year that's not a COVID year, which 21, 22 were COVID years. In a normal given year, they issue between 200 and 300 black notices for bodies found and requesting like more information from law enforcement around the world. And we heard about just a couple in the article. So there's even more that we don't know about. And then they got the blue notices. Which one do they do the most? A red notice. Over between 10,000 and 13,000 red notices are issued every year. That is very interesting. That is for wanted people like throughout the world. So if you try to go through a border or whatever, they'll pick you up and arrest you. So yeah, there you go. Total number of valid notices for December 2023 or until December 2023. 74,224 red notices had been issued like in totality. And over 2,237 black notices. Total over 124,741 notices sent out throughout Interpol. Very interesting. Wanted person diffusions published last year. 11,000, 12,000 for 22, 21 was 12 grand, and 2020, 13,000. And in 2019, just before the pandemic, 15,000 wanted person red notices. So they do a lot of work. Yeah, what is a yellow notice? Hold on. A missing person. Okay. Oh, wow. They have, I didn't know this, but they have a whole thing of just like missing people. Look, different people from Venezuela, Colombia, Guatemala. A lot of people from Guatemala, Argentina and stuff, Botswana, Belgium, Chile. There's Peru and Ecuador. They really are a national. A lot of children, if that's what I've noticed so far. A lot of children. A lot of young children. Bolivia. Yeah, see, a lot of little kids, see, 1-year-old, 5 years old. Probably like could be part of like parental kidnapping. 14 years old and 15 years old, both from Bolivia. El Salvador. This guy, don't know who he is. Yeah, they got a lot of hundreds of people. Look, another little child from Honduras, 3 years old. A lot of children. That's a terrible photo. How are you supposed to know who this is? This just looks like someone who may be blurred. You'd be like, "Have you seen this blurry person?" "Yes, I saw her at the airport." "What did she look like?" "Well, she was very blurry." Always. There you go. It's Let's see if we get a better photo. There we go. She's not so blurry anymore. Her name is Chris. Chris is a forename. Family name is Legisano, and she's from Mexico or the United States. Place of birth, Buena Vista, Guerrero, Mexico. So there you go. She's not so blurry anymore, but she is a missing person. Very interesting website. So there you go. Do they have their other bit about the program? And where is their program? Only police can work for Interpol? What's the answer, people? Is it true or false? Only police can work for Interpol. I got no idea. Ping doesn't know. What's the answer? I don't want to seem stupid to Interpol. They might come and get me. They might issue a notice for me. Tell me if it's red or not. Oh, it's time. Well, she can wait, all right? I'm running late tonight. She can wait. She can wait 5 minutes. She can wait. She's fine. She's always putting on makeup anyway. All right, we better go. Uh-huh. All right. Hey guys. What? False? Is it false? All right, let's answer the question before we go. False. The General Secretariat employs around 1,000 staff members from 100 countries. Approximately one-third are police officers deployed by the governments, while two-thirds are international civilian servants recruited by the organization. All right, let's get out of here. Hey, I love you all very much. Come back at midnight. We'll talk more hurricane and more true crime, okay? Yeah, I love you too. All right, bye-bye. I'll see you guys in a little while. Hey, stay and watch the credits. Bye.